Bar Stool Sports. Titus, Brandon Walker, mostly sports.
You got it.
Welcome to Mostly Sports. Hi, hello. Welcome to Mostly Sports. It is Tuesday, I'm going to guess, April 8th.
Correct.
April 8th, 2025. And we are doing a Mostly Sports from Chicago. As always, we're brought to you by Jägermeister. Jägermeister. They gave us a script today, Connor. Do you have a script, or do we need to pass it back and forth?
We need to pass it back. Am I Brandon in this or Mark?
You're going to be Mark in this.
Okay, gotcha.
You're going to be Mark. Hey, Mark, what do you do when you're out with friends, the waiter comes up and asks what everyone wants to drink, but everyone freezes, and they just look at each other for approval?
Hey, Brandon, what should I do?
Hey, Mark. I already said hey. I mean, you have to say hey again.
Okay.
So, hey, because it's not even in your script.
Yeah, I know. That was ad-lib.
So, hey, Mark.
That was improv.
You should have some confidence, or as Jägermeister likes to call it, shotfidence.
Oh.
If everyone's having trouble ordering, here's what you do. Be a baller. Be a shot caller. Be a 20-inch blade. On the Impala. Order for the table a round of ice-cold Jägermeister shots. Damn, that's cold, because apparently we've been drinking Jägermeister all wrong.
Hey, Brandon, how should we be drinking it?
Annoying ancillary character enters the scene. Ice cold!
Oh!
We should be drinking it ice cold at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So wherever you're at, if you're hanging with friends or at the bar, or maybe you're doing all the sports stuff or just the mostly sports stuff, call the shots. Cheers with ice cold Jägermeister. Remember to check Jägermeister out at barstoolxjagermeister.com. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume, imported by Mass Jägermeister U.S., White Plains, New York. Connor.
Next time we do that ad, before we move on, we should do it as Kramer entering Jerry's apartment, and he's telling him about the ice cold shots.
Jerry from
Seinfeld, yeah.
Jerry from Jersey Jerry?
From the show Seinfeld.
Do as Kramer entering Jersey Jerry's apartment. And I'd like to see how that goes. Connor, what do you want to talk about? I think I know what you want to talk about. Ebo, you were supposed to write a song. Waffle time, it's waffle time, boys.
I thought, me, you, Cody, and TJ are doing a performative dance for Connor.
A barbershop quartet.
Waffles. I see Kier in Connor.
Waffles.
I see Kier in you, son.
What is going on?
We're talking about your waffles.
You're the refiner of the month.
You're going to have to eat what are you talking about? What is that?
Ball knowers know.
That sounds like a nerd thing.
No, it's not.
No, yeah, tell him, Lucas. It's not a nerd thing.
Yeah, it's not a nerd thing.
What's a refiner?
Listen, if you know, you know, and you don't know, and that's fine.
Stop
But
with
we
this.
know.
What movie is it referencing?
A little TV show called Severance. Like maybe the most popular show on TV.
And that's not nerdy?
It's like the most popular show.
I didn't ask that. Star Wars is the most popular movie, one of the most popular movie franchises.
No,
It's nerdy.
Me is.
What? That's all.
Would
Okay.
you guys rather own
Oh my
the
God.
Despicable Me franchise or the Dallas Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys.
We talked about that before.
I can't sit in a luxury box every Sunday and watch Despicable Me.
You sure can.
How?
'Cause they make so much money, you can own a luxury box.
Lucas, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, based on our pre-show interactions and your start, you're on a pitch count. You got about 10 words to use for this entire show, so use them wisely, okay? All right? Good. Connor, what is Mark there?
Hey!
Yes.
Oh, Mark.
What's up, boys?
Hello, Mark Titus.
Hot start to the show. You guys are killing it.
I don't want to look at these people ever. I can announce, and I'm very excited. Mark Titus will be back in studio tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, and it's going to be great. I can't wait to see him, and the show's going to be back to normal. Isn't that right, Mark?
No, that's actually not true at all. In fact, I won't be there, and you won't be there either, Brandon. And the Couch Boys will be taking over the show for the rest of the week, which is probably the worst decision we ever made. And at the time, we made that decision because we both wanted to do various things, and we said, "Fuck it, let's just let them do it." And then now that we're here, why did we do this?
I don't
Why did
know.
we not get like guest hosts?
I think it's a poor idea. Do you guys have plans?
Yeah, we have a trailer dropping at the end of the show.
Are you being for real right now?
Yeah, because you said last week when we were talking about the Supper Club, you were like, you never make trailers for this show, Connor. So we made a trailer.
You made a trailer for when you are going to be the host?
Yeah, because you told me make a trailer for when we are going to be the hosts. We could go back and find it. We could find the clip last week you said. Make a trailer
Before we go any
Friday.
further, I found a hilarious clip about ice football today, and I sent it to Lucas, and they're like, Brandon, we've done ice football on the show before. Mark, have we done ice football?
Yeah, I felt like the last possession, I actually thought the play was drawn up
Well,
pretty
we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I misheard what you said.
Have
What were
we
you saying?
have we done ice football on the show?
Oh, sorry. No, I don't know that we have. Let's take a look at that.
That's what. No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it right now because they said, "Oh, we've already done it." I don't think we've done it. I don't think we've done ice football, and they're telling me that it's one of those things. Florida 65, Houston 63. One of the closer, more evenly contested Final Fours we've ever seen. All three games close. All three games come down to the final minute. Florida ends up outlasting Houston. It was a game that was up and down in the sense that the first 10 minutes were god-awful garbage to look at. But once the two teams settled down and Florida called in the second half, it was a back-and-forth, really, really fun game. Does the ending, that last possession, does the ending leave like just a sour taste in your mouth? Do you wish you had seen it to a better completion than that?
Yeah, I think we wanted a shot attempt at least, right? We wanted never mind the last one was really, really bad, but then they didn't even get a shot off the possession before either. They got what was it? Like 3 turnovers in their final 4 possessions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you wanted to see Sharp just throw it up no matter what, even if he airballs it, even if he throws it over the backboard. Like at least there's that moment of like, oh shit, is it going to go in or not? I didn't realize the game was over. I'll be completely honest. Like when the horn sounded, I was like, what was that noise? Because I just like there was so much chaos, and Houston had so much time. Brandon,
yeah.
When they were taking the ball out, there was like 20-something seconds left. They ran one play, didn't even get the shot off, and the horn went off, and I was like, there's no way that was just the end of the game. And it was a little disappointing, but I think what made it cool for me was that Florida has been in these insane games basically the entire season. They have been a comeback team. They have been a team that's relied heavily on heroics from Walter Clayton, but almost always those heroics have been on the offensive end, and Walter Clayton is taking just absurd shots and making them. And it was pretty cool, I guess, that they won a national championship, not because of insane shots, but because of insane defense down the stretch. And that kind of flipped the script a little bit. And they beat Houston. I felt like they beat Houston at their own game. I think Houston dominated the game. They played it on their terms for 40 minutes, basically. And the only way Florida was going to win this game was if they could play Houston basketball better than Houston played Houston basketball. And they did, and that was cool. My question is, like, where does this Final Four rank all time? I don't know. Like, it's definitely up there. Is it all 3 games, like you said? I think the final media timeout, the team that was leading each of the 3 games ended up losing the game. So we had 3 just banger games. But yeah, the way the game ended last night was a little bit disappointing. So like, do I think it's the best Final Four? Yeah, sometimes, as I've thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. But then I also think, yeah, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying, Brandon, is as I think about whether this is the best Final Four I've ever seen, I can't help but waffle over where I stand on this.
Well, take your time. We have a long show. If you want to waffle back and forth and back and forth, back and forth,
I just keep
going
back and forth, Brandon. I'm waffling like crazy over here.
How many times do you think you could possibly waffle, though? I mean, this is only an hour and a half show.
North of 30. I don't know.
You're not going to be able to get to 50. That'd be way too many waffles.
Do you want me to do 30-ish waffles on this show today?
See if you can go back and forth 30 times, 30
right.
waffles.
I think Houston didn't choke. It was that Florida won that game more than Houston lost it. But then again, Houston did kind of just fucking shit down their leg, man. You got to get a shot up. So maybe Houston did choke after all. That's
2 waffles, and pace-wise, I just don't see how we're going to make it.
Was that 2 waffles?
He had just waffled before.
Okay, all right. I thought you were counting that as a 2 waffle. I think that was a waffle.
That was a second waffle.
And he flipped the iron.
That was a second waffle.
Yeah.
But at this pace, what are we going to be able to get to? 11 waffles, 12 waffles? I mean, that's a lot of waffles.
A lot of waffles,
but
Brandon.
it's not It's not 40 waffles.
Can you waffle twice in one waffle, Mark? Is that possible? Can you fit a waffle in there?
Oh.
Does that erase the waffle though?
No, because you're still waffling.
If you double waffle, you're just back where you started.
Right. It's like a 360.
Yeah.
I mean, you've just turned all the way around. Connor, you haven't said much.
I'd have to argue that I felt like last night Houston was the better team and the better team didn't win. But then again, maybe Florida was the better team all along throughout the season, so they deserved to win. But then the more I think about it, I actually think Duke should be the most haunted about all this. And I still stand by Duke being the best team in the country. How about that? Was that?
Well, I hate to step on a bit here, but that part is fucking true. Like Duke has got to be sick right now. They got to be sick to their stomach right now about what they left on the table. Connor, you've been quiet.
Yeah, I've been mum.
Connor, where's your head at? Walk us through it. That's what everybody's tuning in to know. Like, who gives a shit about us talking about the game last night? All eyes are on you and your 40 waffles.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it. Especially like the fucking. I hate this Florida team for if I was just a casual observer, had no rooting interest in the games, they would be electric to watch, and it would be something very similar to like Kemba Walker, UConn. Just the way that they come back. I tweeted out last night. It feels like they're never out of a game. Last night was the largest deficit they faced in the tournament, but you knew Walter Clayton Jr. has 0 points right now. He's gonna come to life in the second half. Like it was such a disgusting watch because you could predict at halftime Florida's going to come back in this game. Even once Houston extended the lead to what it was, 12 points, 14 points, you knew that Florida was going to come back. The writing was on the walls, and it just made me fucking sick. And I hate the fact that I have to do this waffle stream. Hate it. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it interesting. I'm going to puke probably 3 or 4 times. But, yeah, it's not what I wanted to do at all.
Can we consult a doctor? How many waffles is too many waffles?
That's why
40's a lot.
So
it might last. The stream might last 3.5 days.
I'm gonna check with sales.
What sales? There's no doctors on the sales staff.
No. But there was a moment where we had a certain waffle company potentially coming on.
Which one could it be? I wonder.
I don't know. And
Out of the hundreds and hundreds of waffle companies out there, I wonder.
I don't know if we'd have to eat those waffles. I don't know if they are. We'll figure it out. But yeah, no, this is horrendous. I had a really fun idea if we had won the game. Like, I'm a Houston fan now. If Houston had won the game, I had a really fun idea that I was pissed I didn't get a chance to do.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
And now
that sounds so fun, man.
In my head,
oh my God,
picture it. I'm having so much fun.
In my head, it was a blast. And now, yeah, we have
dude.
to.
So hypothetically, in a different world, we all had a great time last night.
Yeah. And listen, it was a phenomenal game, but I was in hell, and I was losing my mind, pulling my hair out. Houston, despicable offense in the second half. And the good news is, I only have to eat 40 waffles. Cody here, he has to go pour chocolate syrup on himself.
Yeah,
that's
Brandon,
tough. That's really tough.
Brandon,
yeah,
I imagine you've thought about what I've thought about since you said chocolate syrup, and we all nodded along. And we're
right?
like, good idea. Yeah.
That might not be the best idea in the world. Maybe.
No, but he has to go to Florida though.
Maybe visually, it's not ideal.
He's desperately trying to get out of going to Florida.
That's the thing that's crazy.
Why is he trying to get out going to Florida?
That should be the thing you want to do, Cody.
Yeah,
you should get out of the
Florida
other
rocks.
part. You should want to go to
Florida. Let me go to an SEC campus in spring.
Oh, that would suck. Oh, I hate that.
I do think the punishment is like you have to cover yourself in like sticky syrup, maybe not chocolate syrup, and be in the heat while covered in feathers.
That'd be something.
I think that's a fair compromise.
Cody, you've done most of the work. You've put the headphones on, but you've refused to talk so far.
What is your problem? This guy has been my biggest op, but we're in the same situation.
I'm not mad at Cody at all. I just think he's dumb.
You have been treating him poorly.
I have. And I'm not trying to drag him into this, but there was a debate last night. We were all watching the game together, and people were saying Cody kind of has it worse than you, no? I'm like, what do you no.
So you want to be seen as the martyr here. You think he is horning in on your action by getting a bad punishment.
No, I just think if we have to judge which one is worse, and I'm not saying we have to, add him into the 40 waffles or do whatever, but I'm just saying it was crazy the discourse last night that we were having.
Connor, people every single day all across the world
eat 40 waffles.
pay money to eat waffles. Show me people that are signing up to,
That's true.
have syrup poured on their body and feathered in a public forum. You
Do a
know?
punishment swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so brave. You have to eat a delicious breakfast. I could out eat 40 waffles any day.
Okay. pal.
Mark,
Okay,
you
pal.
want to talk real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, we could punishment swap them.
No.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey. I am talking to Mark, Titus.
Oh, wouldn't that be interesting?
If Connor's like that, the tar and feathered's so easy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Spin the horses, and it can be Connor, Cody, and then Lucas and we can punishment swap.
Or
What is Lucas said?
Wait a second.
or let me throw a third idea at you, Mark. We're just saying ideas here in our championship wrap up. What if we just put them in together? Both eat the 40 waffles together and both get tarred and feathered.
Oh, they both have to do both punishments.
Yeah, kinda. Let's
I don't hate that idea.
let's just do it double dare style.
Just do it all at once. They have to
Double
pour syrup on their bodies and get feathered and then eat 40 waffles.
They have to pour syrup
What the-
on each other in close proximity,
Yeah.
and then lightly apply feathers to each other.
And then tickle each other a little bit.
And then were you on yet yesterday when Connor bragged about how good of a tickler he is? Was that before the show or was that?
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, he wasn't here. Don't get me in a tickle fight, Mark.
I was like, you guys should have a tickle fight. And he said, you don't want to see me in a tickle fight. I'll win every time.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Connor does not have a better Gucci goo than I do. That's all I'm gonna say.
You truly believe you're an elite tickler?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't ask.
What?
Just accept.
No. Every tickling is just tickling. Everybody reaches in the same spot.
No, some people are really bad at tickling. Really bad at tickling.
What
No
makes-
one is bad at tickling.
No.
Nobody's bad at tickling.
They don't have the motion in the tips of their fingers.
What's what's good about your tickling?
I have the motion in the tips of my fingers, and I get full range of tickling.
Only
Show
good,
me how you
only
would-
good for tickling.
Show me how you would tickle.
Only good for tickling.
Yeah.
Let's not spread any narratives here. So this Houston team.
Shut up. We're going to get there. That's fine. We got plenty of time. The audacity of you to claim to be a great tickler is crazy.
I know how to tickle, bro. Calm down.
Everybody knows how to tickle.
No, they do not. No, they do not.
I feel like you got to put this on display. You got to go find somebody in the office and tickle him, Connor.
All right,
We gotta
tickle
go bring
stream.
someone in and tickle him.
Tickle stream. Lumped in with syrup and tarred and feathered, lumped in with waffles. We'll do that. We'll add the tickle.
This
to the
is
stream.
going to be an all-time stream. Oh my God.
How are we going to – what's a tickle stream?
I don't know.
You know what a tickle stream is, Brandon.
We'd have
Come on,
to
Brandon.
flesh it out a little bit, but we'll figure out the punishment.
Was that before the show yesterday?
No, that was on the
on the show?
Yeah.
He's the white Stephen Che. I've said it a lot of times.
I know.
But Stephen Che will hear some innocuous activity and claim to be the greatest of all time at it, and say, well, I do that better than anybody else. Tickling, there's no – I don't think there's a skill to tickling. It's just identifying the spot and touching it.
It's film. It's study. It's knowing where individuals.
Shut the fuck up.
Everybody's
Shut the
ticklish in
fuck
different
up.
places. That's all I'm saying.
Connor, you know what Kevin Durant said.
Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
Damn straight.
Shit.
Lucas.
Hey, Lucas, congratulations on last night. I know you're from Florida, and your Florida Gators winning the national championship. I bet this was the most fun Final Four you've probably ever experienced in your life.
I had a blast,
Congrats.
and I loved every second of that. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, congrats, Lucas.
Thank you.
Just for your own edification, Mark, Lucas is on a pitch count. He was a little mouthy, a little wordy before the show, so I'd like you not to speak directly to him.
I don't know if I'm supposed to bring this up on air, but yeah, Lucas is actually a Duke fan, and he actually didn't have a good time at this Final Four, Brandon.
No, not at all.
I-
That was
But
disgusting.
he told me he doesn't like to broadcast that, so I don't want to broadcast it. I just wanted to.
Time out.
wanted to fill you in on what's going on here, Brandon.
I thought the joke was, I thought you were a Florida State fan.
Yeah.
No.
What?
You're a Florida State football fan?
No, not really.
He is a Florida State
is-
fan.
He did go to the Florida State Clemson game in football this
Right.
past year.
I thought you were.
That
a
is
Coastal
true.
fan.
I thought that was a joke. You had to watch your arch rival win the championship. You're a Duke fan?
No, yeah, I'm a Duke basketball fan. My mom's loved Duke her whole life, so I was born into that. But no, I don't really care about Florida State.
Are you sure you didn't just mishear what your mom loves when she told you?
Yeah. I do have baby pictures of me and Duke stuff as ammo in case something ever happened.
Oh boy, Mark Titus.
That
Man.
got me rooting against Duke again. I was like, oh, this Duke team is likable, and then finding out that just a guy from Tallahassee is just a diehard Duke
Not from
fan.
Tallahassee.
Where are you from?
Jacksonville.
Born in New Jersey, and then
What?
I've lived in Tampa.
Yeah, I haven't said North Carolina yet.
No, then I've been in Florida since high school.
Adds
It's-
up.
All right.
He's a Jersey Duke fan.
But he's a Florida Duke fan too.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I hate
it's the
Duke.
worst.
I don't know.
Sharp.
Brandon-
Sharp.
Brandon, I have a controversial opinion, and I wanna talk it out a little bit.
Yeah, give it to me.
I don't think the play that Houston drew up was really that bad. I thought the execution was horrible. I thought, but I see a little too much like piling on Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah.
And I actually think like what he drew up in the huddle was not that bad. It was just Florida fucking blew it up and was pressuring Houston so much they couldn't really see what was going on. But Walter Clayton lost Sharp. Sharp was wide open for like
Yeah.
a brief second, and then they got the ball to him too late, and obviously what happened everybody saw. But
One pump
yeah.
fake and he's shooting a wide open shot for a national championship.
I think like Todd Golden's timeout, like coming out of timeouts, his ATO draw, the plays he drew up were great. And then Kelvin Sampson, like the Houston calls a timeout for the final play. They did kind of walk the ball up the floor a little too much. I would
Yeah.
have liked to see him be a little more urgent. But I actually think like when if you're in the huddle watching Kelvin Sampson drawing up the play, if I was in that huddle, I would have been like, shit, this is a great play. Good, this is going to work. And then I felt like it did work. And I'm in the arena, and Sharp comes through like the elevator screen, and I said out loud to myself, I was just like, oh shit, he got him. He's wide open.
Yeah.
And then it took like a split second to get him the ball. Like they were just a split second too late. And I don't know. He should have done obviously he should have done like a Marcus Page. Remember when Marcus Page hit that like double clutch from his hip?
Yeah.
Similar situation. You had to get a shot off, but I thought it was a fine play call. It was poorly executed, and then I felt bad for Sharp because in that moment he was actually making, under any other circumstance, what would have been a smart play. But now if you could redo it, it's like, one, just throw the ball up and who cares what happens, and two, if you're going to do the thing where you drop it, just grab it right away, because then there's 4 seconds left, 5 seconds left,
Yeah.
and you still have hope. But it was a wet fart of a way to end the game. But I thought actually the play itself wasn't that bad, Brandon.
Yeah, I thought they got what they wanted. He clearly wanted to win the game right there. He clearly wanted his best shooter or one of his best shooters to have the ball, and he got that. The ultimate thing is Florida. The way Florida defended it, it put Sharp in a position to do one of 2 or 3 things, and he chose the worst possible option. If he goes ahead and shoots it, he's shooting a contested shot, sure, or he gets fouled.
Yeah, how pissed would you have been? Okay, as we're talking through like how disappointing of an ending that was as a neutral fan, would it have been better or worse if he shot fakes, keeps his feet on the ground, and then jumps like sideways into Walter Clayton and gets the foul call and gets 3 free throws?
Well, I wouldn't have loved that, but that would have set up Florida to be maybe possibly down 1 with the 4 seconds to go and to go the full length of the court, setting up Walter Clayton for something crazy. So I wouldn't have hated the opportunity to see that.
It would have been slightly better than what we got, I guess, right?
It would have been slightly better than what we got. The ultimate thing is the shot fake. Take one dribble to the left and shoot it and see where it goes. But you know what? I don't have the ball down 2 in a national title game with 5 seconds left, so I can sit here and say the shot fake is the way he should have gone. But what do I know?
Yeah,
Look
you would have simply just made the shot, right?
I would have made the shot and maybe would have dunked it from there.
Dunked it from 3.
Looking back at the play, though, you might not even need the shot fake. Going back to Mark and how terribly it was executed, the Houston big men miss about 2 or 3 screens on this play. Like, they're not actually setting the screens, and that's what caused the delay in the passes, getting the ball to the next guy, ultimately caused the delay in getting it to Sharp at the top of the key, which allowed Clayton to then close out on.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch it, and even Walter Clayton said as much in the press conference after the game. He was like, we were locked in on L.J. Cryer and Jawan Roberts, and I thought they're either going to do something for Cryer to shoot a three or Jawan Roberts is going to slip a screen and go to the bucket. So Clayton on the play is like completely lost, makes an incredible recovery to challenge the shot. But I thought just like the actual play call itself was a good one, and you had your Emmanuel Sharp's the best shooter maybe in the country. LJ Cryer is too. Like Houston was the best 3-point shooting team in the country all season, but even though they sucked from three last night, you have Emmanuel Sharp, who was open for a brief second, with a shot to win the national championship. I think like that's as good as you can do as a coach, and then it's on the players to execute. And I just felt like Houston kind of fucked up the execution a little bit.
Can I say something about the missed screens by the big men?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and I'm not absolving them of any blame. I just think I think it might be a continuation or coming to fruition of really, really, really shitty officiating in the second half.
Yeah.
Maybe you're scared to touch people at that point, because in the first half there were 4 fouls called, and they let them play. Now, there probably could have been some more fouls called. They might have erred on the side of letting them play too much. But then in the second half, every single thing, every single breath, every single possession was stopped by a whistle. The officials inserted themselves and took over the game and made sure they had an imprint on it. And I feel like college basketball, and I don't think it leaned one way or the other. I don't think Florida got screwed. I don't think Houston got screwed. I just think it was bad officiating. And a lot of times people want to say, well, don't blame the officials. I'm not blaming the officials for anything. I'm just saying, if you've got the 2 best teams in the country, or the 4 best teams in the country at the Final Four, let's make sure our officiating is to the level of our basketball. And I don't think that's the case in college basketball right now.
Yeah, when you looked up and there was like 10 minutes left and both teams are in the bonus, I don't know if it was exactly 10, but there was a lot of basketball left and both teams are in the bonus. That's not what you want. You don't want a parade to the free throw line on the biggest stage of, and especially like you said, Brandon, they were letting them play all first half, which I think was fine. Like Florida's, other than Chinyalu, like the Florida's big men were a little bit rattled by, I thought, the physicality, but in the second half they were settling in a little bit, and I don't know. I would have liked to see more consistency. I would have liked to see if you set the standard in the first half that we're going to allow this level of physicality. Yeah. Then have it carry over to the second half. Or if you're going to call it tight in the second half, then why didn't you do that in the first half? It was a little all over the place. But like you said, also, I do agree that like not one team was screwed one way or another. It was just more as like a neutral observer. The flow of the game was not as smooth as I wanted it to be. The first half, actually, I felt like it was. Like it was bad basketball. I think the adrenaline was through the roof. That place was so fucking loud. I've been to a handful of these Final Fours. I think this was my 8th national championship I've been to. And that was as loud as I've ever heard a national championship. It was fucking loud in there. And I think everybody, all the guys had a little too much adrenaline pumping and couldn't shoot. And Elijah Martin, that dunk attempt he had early in the game, so stupid. Yeah. So like he was never going to complete it, but like in his head, he's just like, I am going to pop the roof off this place.
I like having that guy out there, by the way. Just somebody who says, I'm dunking on somebody tonight. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's been doing that all year, but he was like, last night that was like the part of his brain that told him it was a good idea was really bad. The part of his heart that told him it was a good idea, I fucking loved it. But yeah, I thought the flow in the first half was good, even though it was at times disgusting looking basketball. At least they were flowing and playing up and down a little bit. And then the second half was way too many whistles.
Now, I should have known Florida was going to win early in the tournament. I've noticed at Barstool a pattern of the worst people we got getting to be happy all the time. Ben Mintz has had a generational run with his team since he got hired. Dave Portnoy got to watch his team cheat and win a national title, and now Nicky Smokes got to be in Gainesville as the Florida Gators win the national championship. Can you pull up, Lucas? Can you pull up Nicky Smokes' Twitter, please? Because there's a couple we just got to talk about. Now he didn't drop any Twitter wisdom last night like he always does, but he did drop some things that we had to question in the group chat.
Yeah, there were no similes.
There were no similes. No metaphors.
No, none of the sort. But, yeah, he did have some stuff that was a bit out there.
So go down. Good morning. Yep. Go ahead. Continue. Obviously, you can tell there he is cutting down the nets. Yes, sure. That's a wrap. 4:41 a.m. All right. Continue. Just maybe. Okay. Stop. Being the oldest person at the frat party is electric, but also depressing. Fine. I can't stop ripping darts. It's great to be a Florida Gator. I'm speaking Chinese, greatest night of my life, and it's just getting started. Mark, what does I'm speaking Chinese mean?
What does that mean? I have no idea.
What during a night makes you speak Chinese? Evo, the young guys?
Yeah, so I think the translation here for the old folks is he's slurring his words and can't really get a full sentence out.
Oh, so it's a little problematic?
I don't know. I think it's more just like I can't speak straight.
I think
But-
it
but
could have
the
been any
tweet itself-
language.
It's very
The tweet itself is very coherent.
it's remarkably coherent. 3 very blunt sentences.
No typos.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Have they put out the video yet? Not yet.
Not yet,
Or
but
editing it?
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't eager to see it.
I have it in my
I know.
inbox.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's done.
Mark, one more thing about the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
So before the season, and CBS did a remarkable job just never ever bringing it up ever. Before the season, we had a moment where he wondered if Todd Golden would still be the coach of the Florida Gators. Like there
That's
was,
right.
it got a little hairy there. Like it was, and then it all of a sudden just kind of went away, and he went through the season. Now he's a national champion coach, but more so the program. If you look through history, I think Duke has 5 national titles. These Blue Bloods, Kansas, in all of its history of being an elite basketball program, has 4 national titles. Florida has 3. Florida. I'm not making the case they're a blue blood. I'm just saying Florida has 3 fucking national titles, and you've got out there, you've got your Kansases and your Kentuckys and your North Carolinas, teams that aren't putting together this kind of run over a 20-year period. It's pretty fucking impressive.
It's very impressive. And I think it's too soon to call them a blue blood, but they are definitely in a position to be in contention year in and year out for the next 2 decades maybe. You have a 39-year-old head coach who not only they won the national title obviously, and he's 39 and he's going to be around for I can't imagine him taking another job. You know, like if North Carolina wants to hire him, why would you leave at this point if you're Todd Golden? If you won a national championship at Florida, you got everything you need there to build a winner. But what's interesting about how he did it too, to me, is that all these guys that he brought in to win this championship were not highly recruited guys. They're not highly touted guys. They were very much like Todd Golden's an analytical guy and how he approaches the X's and O's of the game. Ebo, you would fucking love him. Some of the decisions where he fouls intentionally. Like last night, I don't know this to be true, but when it happened, I thought it was on purpose. You know I think it was Houston's last point when Joseph Tugler got there was he was cutting to the bucket and one of the big white guys on Florida just kind of checked him, just kind of got in his way and checked him, and they called a foul away from the ball, and then Tugler went to the line and hit 1 out of 2. There's a chance Todd Golden did it on purpose because Tugler's not a good free throw shooter. But he's such an analytical guy and sees the game in that way. But he also takes that approach off the court. And what's fascinating about Florida is in a world where, Brandon, we've talked about this before, as yes, you can pay players, and there's this idea that any program can now go out and just buy guys and win a national championship. But I actually think that what's going to happen is colleges are going to have to decide, are you a football school or are you a basketball school? Where do you want your money to go? I know firsthand that that's happening with my alma mater, that all the dollars are going to the football program. I want them to take some of it and push it to the basketball program. But the reason that's relevant is because a school like Florida, which obviously the people of Florida care more about football than basketball, though maybe last night closes the gap a little bit. Even if they put all the money into football and they, a guy like DJ Lagway, they're we're going to try to get him to stay as long as he can and give him $10 million and all that. Todd Golden is so good at identifying, and his staff, they're so good at identifying guys in the portal that they want that aren't necessarily the 5-star, the top recruit, the transfer that everybody else wants. And that was sort of the story. The story of this Florida team was Walter Clayton, number 1, and how great he was down the stretch. And just he played hero ball and saved them so many times. But I think like the overarching story was that Florida put this team together with a bunch of guys that were frankly just like under the radar dudes. And I think that has to encourage you moving forward, that if you're a Florida fan, that like, I don't think Todd Golden's going to need a fuck ton of money to go buy all the best players in the portal. I think they got a good eye of what they want. And even if Florida Athletics puts all their money into football, Florida basketball will still be a thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, to back up that point, I think I saw a stat that since they started recruiting rankings, this is the first national champion ever with 0 top 100 recruits on their team.
That's crazy.
To which I would say it feels like a mistake. Like some of these guys feel like they would have been big recruits. I don't know. Maybe I'm just way off on that. And secondly, it makes me question recruiting rankings, because at what point in his life was Walter Clayton Jr. not elite? I guess he wasn't when he got to Iona or wherever he was. Like he turned into this, or what happened with this guy?
Well, I mean, the only thing I'd say about him is just that the first half of last night is. I thought he actually ended up playing a pretty decent game. Like, he wasn't great offensively, and he didn't, he had back-to-back 30-point games coming into last night, and then last night he wasn't scoring as well. But I thought in the second half he let the game come to him a little bit. But if you watch the first half, I would say that was, for anyone that was putting together recruiting rankings or anybody that, like, didn't have Walter Clayton on preseason All-American teams or anything like that, I think you would point to last night, the first half, and say there's a little bit too much of that throughout his career, if that makes sense, where he was taking insane shots, just very careless turnovers. You're not really sure, like, if he's not scoring, what is he doing out there? And in the second half, he let the game come to him a little bit more. He played incredible defense, and he is he's obviously one of the best players in the country. But I think that's how we got here. But no, I think instead of looking back on it and be like, how did all these people get Walter Clayton so wrong? I think the real story is, like, Walter Clayton is what makes college basketball so fucking awesome. And you get a guy who's not really recruited that well and goes to a small school and just works his dick off and gets to win a national championship and be the most outstanding player. And will probably be a lottery pick now. And that's very cool, because the guys who get all the attention are the Cooper Flaggs of the world, who are 5 stars and go to the big schools and immediately go to the NBA. And we think of those guys as the guys that dominate the sport. But a guy like Walter Clayton is what keeps me coming back, Brandon. It's what keeps this old fuddy-duddy like me coming back.
I got to talk to you about DraftKings for a second. The fight for the green jacket is on at Augusta. Get in on all the action with DraftKings Sportsbook from the opening round through the championship Sunday. DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with live betting, player props, and so much more. If you've never bet on golf before, it is easier than you think. Just pick something simple like a golfer to win the tournament and make your pick. It is just that simple. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FAMILY. That's code FAMILY for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
You want to do a Masters preview? You're going, right?
I am. What kind of Masters preview you got in mind,
I don't know. What all I know is the big pencil bullshit, but other than that, like,
if I never hear the words big pencil again, I'll be I don't understand why it persists. Anyway, Lucas, we'll go to and this is persona non grata on the yak, but I think I can use it here. Go to Sporkle and pull up a list of a quiz about the Masters winners through the years. That'll be our Masters preview.
Yeah, where's your head at, Brandon? I seriously want to know, like, how 1 to 10, how excited you are for this. Are you nervous about how buttoned up that place is?
Yeah.
Are you?
I got
like, just give me the whole gamut.
I have a lot
now.
of emotions. First, I'm missing a couple of my girls' softball games. I feel bad about that. I don't like the travel. I feel bad about that. But speaking of Thursday morning, when I walk in and I see the flowers and I see the grass and I see the rolling hills, I think it's going to be one of my favorite moments in my life. It's just a matter of getting to that moment, and I am a little nervous that all the talk on the yak has put a bullseye on me, and I hope that doesn't happen. So, but I can't wait. My good personal longtime friend Joey Avery will be there with me. We go way back to what, February?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
He was.
I like Joey, but like what?
he was on the Yak Friday, and I had my. It just happened to be the day that my I had gone through 3 friends back home, Bradley Barton, Matt Warren, and somebody else, and they all just pulled out. They all couldn't go, so I was left kind of with a ticket, and I thought about doing a wheel for it and just taking a Yak person, and then he was there, and he said he liked the Master. I said, fuck it, you want to go with me? And so that's how it happened.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That just happened organically. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You heard Chef Donnie was like, "What? Why didn't I get on that invite list?"
He texted me. Chef Donnie texted me, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And I
Well, Chef Donnie doesn't ever do anything for you, Brandon. You don't have to.
and I said, I said afterwards, I didn't know that you were a Masters guy. I didn't know you were a golf guy. I didn't know that at all. And he said every American male should be a Masters guy, and he was right. So I flubbed it. I've had several people hit me up and be like, "Why not me? Why not me?" And I was like, I don't know. It's just in the moment. Joey Avery felt funny, so he's going.
There's always going to be somebody mad.
Always going to be somebody, man.
Yeah.
You ready for the Masters preview, Mark?
Yeah, I can barely see it, but.
Well, I think I can just tell you, just if you can just think of players who have won the Masters, that's all you got to do.
Okay. All right.
I'll let you go first.
I'll start. Mark O'Meara.
98. That's 98.
How do you spell that?
O''M EARA.
There we go.
I'm gonna
I
go.
can't believe we're doing a Sporkle right now. This is actually insane.
Can I play my Larry?
This
Mize?
isn't the Yak.
Can I play Mize?
They hate us. You guys are on the yak. They hate you.
How else we gonna do the preview? How else we gonna do the preview, TJ? Huh?
I guess there's no other way.
Well, you know what?
Let's do it by hand.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not participating in this. I'm not participating in the Sporkle part, but I will, Brandon, if you would like, I will just name Masters winners with you.
We're just gonna name random Masters winners.
We're just going to name Masters winners. That's all we're doing.
I'm gonna say Danny Willett. Willett.
Did you just type a 3, Lucas?
Not
Mark,
so easy, is it, Lucas?
I thought I was on the other keyboard.
Eldrick Woods.
Woods. All right. He put in Wood, and okay. So, oh wow, this Woods fellow won a bunch of them. I'm gonna go Jack Nicklaus.
Nicklaus.
I apologize. There's a K in there. There's a K in there, dummy. All right, there went 6 of them.
Phil Mickelson.
All right, let's see how he botches that. Exactly how I thought he would. Except the E and the L, switch them. TJ, this has been a great couple of days for you, by the way. Fucking great couple. What about Zach Johnson?
What about Jackson?
That's a great point, Brandon.
that.
What about Zach Johnson?
Do you own an autographed golf ball, Titus, of anyone that's won a major or a Masters?
Oh, that's a great point, Ebo. At home, I possess a golf ball signed by Brooks Koepka.
Oh, there's an O in there.
Oh my God.
There's an O. O-E.
He definitely didn't go to Duke.
He also, Koepka hasn't won a Masters, has he? Has he?
And he's got a couple of US
Again, for the
Opens.
record, we're not doing a Sporkle. We're just naming
Masters winners.
Masters winners, and Lucas is the one that pulled up a Sporkle.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that. I'm going to go with Mike Weir.
You're what?
Mike Weir. Oh boy, are we gonna keep
we
doing
have
this,
fun
or
on
I
the
can do this
show.
forever? But I get them all. I think not all of them. I get them back to like
We'll rip some
77.
off.
Sandy Lyle,
John Rahm.
Sevi Ballesteros, John Rahm. Who was the? Okay.
Connor, say one.
I'm drawing a blank.
Ian Woosnam, Jose Maria Olazabal, Nick Faldo,
You can't name one?
Couples. You know what?
Who's the Asian guy, Connor?
Who was the Asian guy? I was about to say that. It wasn't Morikawa. It was Hideki Matsuyama, right? Matsuyama.
Yeah, that's right.
I could do it, but I'm just not gonna.
Connor, who's the
Vijay Singh.
Who's the best golfer in the world right now, in your opinion?
Scotty Scheffler.
Attaboy.
That's a good guess.
Attaboy. All right, take the Sporkle down. He's right. We shouldn't have done a Sporkle. But TJ, if we're not going to do Sporkles, how are we going to do previews? You got to figure that out for me.
We're working. I've got at least 2 options coming in the pipeline for quiz websites that we have ownership of.
All right.
I have 2 separate ones being spawned at the same time.
All right.
But
Is there going to be a
fuck
war?
Sporkle.
Yeah, no, there is a war on Sporkle. I just didn't know what to do as far as a preview.
No, I'm saying a war between those two.
Yeah, TJ on his Tyreek Hill shit, dude.
No, we can have an American League and a National League.
Okay.
They can we'll have we'll have a DH in one, and the other we'll have a DH. All right, let me talk to you about. Let me talk to you. You talk to him about something.
All right.
We talk to you.
Well, I love sport clips.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, hold on.
What?
Maybe we should save this.
Why? It's an ad.
I know, but this might be a good one for later. You know what? We'll do it right now. This segment is presented by Sport Clips. Sport Clips isn't just where you get a haircut. It's your playbook for looking fresh. Walk in, catch the game, and sit back while the pros and men's hair handle the rest. And when you're done, walk out feeling like you're ready to take on anything. No hassle, no surprises, just a solid cut every time. It's simple, it's easy, and it's made for guys who want to feel like they've got the home field advantage. And if you want to track your real-time wait times, download the app and check in online. Sport Clips, the haircut experience, dialed in for guys. It is a game changer. I would know. I went there for my last haircut. I'm going to be going back soon. The game-changing moment, which we can talk about. What do you think overall? I guess it could just be in any type of sporting event this week, but I guess we could focus on the game last night. What was the game-changing moment for you last night?
Can I take it bigger?
Sure.
Can I make it bigger? I think
Sure.
the game-changing moment of the entire Final Four was the Duke collapse because it changed who won the national title. I think Florida caught a gigantic break when Duke collapsed against Houston, and Houston just didn't have the same finishing ability against Florida. But I think those last 2 minutes of Houston-Duke changed college basketball history. That's what I think. I think that's more than a game-changing moment. That's a history-changing moment.
Mark, do you have a game-changing moment, history-changing moment, world-changing moment?
Yeah, I would say probably the last play when Houston didn't get a shot off and they were down 2, Connor.
Yeah, probably that one.
Yeah, traditionally, and this is just me flexing my basketball expertise. Traditionally, when you're down with not a lot of time left, you're going to want to get a shot off. And Houston failed to do that, and I felt like that was kind of the moment I would point to as when it was over for Houston. That was it. When the clock hit 0 and they failed to even get a shot off. That was the game-changing moment for me, Connor.
Well
Great
said.
question, though.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
This guy just acts like he scored 20 points a game.
Let me go on the record and say I do not hate Mark Titus. I want to say that.
Why'd you say it like that? Why can't you
Let me go on the record and say
I love Mark
Let me
Titus.
go on the
How about
record
that?
and say Let me go on the record and say there are a million other things to talk about. And let's just keep the show moving.
All right, we're gonna keep moving. Speaking of, did you see the prep sheet, Mark?
I did.
It's
and there were
piss
two
poor.
things that stood out to me.
It's
but
piss poor, if we're being honest.
It's absolutely piss poor. Ebo tends to do this when there's a big game. He just mails it in because he's just like he'll just put like a bullet point. It's like talk about the national championship.
That's
Figure
exactly
it out.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't need that, Ebo. We have that already. What we need is we're so locked in on the national championship. We need you to tell us what else is going on in the world of sports.
And you know what else the motherfucker loves to do, Mark? He loves to put that chart. He fucking loves to put that chart of who was going to win.
No, that's
the
just,
game expected. You put it on
Yeah.
every national title game. Like, wait,
that's to show you that the Houston led.
we
by,
saw the game.
I know, but I'm you don't now. Okay, if you saw everything about the game, then I don't need to put anything else about the game for a reference on there. Correct? Is that what you're saying?
But you just love to put charts on here. You're
Yeah.
a chart guy.
Yeah, they tell stories.
What story does this one tell?
It tells you that Houston blew a massive lead in the second half, and you can see the
Brandon
exact
doesn't
moment
speak
that it
chart.
happened.
Brandon doesn't speak chart. He doesn't know how to speak chart.
I don't know why we have to speak chart.
He sees charts and he just
I have.
He loves it.
I have a question.
Yeah, Nicky Smokes was speaking chart. That's what he was doing last night. He was speaking chart.
Did
That
any-
was a good joke, Connor.
Ebo loves charts. He's a chart head.
What are y'all doing?
Charted.
What is this,
He says,
I'm super charted.
Cody? By the way, Mark, Cody has absolutely finessed his way onto the couch for good. He is.
It hasn't said a
Well, we
god.
never-
He hasn't said a goddamn thing.
goddamn word.
He just eased over there for the one time we asked him to talk, and he did not go back.
It hasn't said
I'll
a
leave.
word.
No, you can stay. Just I know we didn't do it on the Yak the other day, and I know it doesn't feel comfortable, but tell them all the joke you were working on in the lobby.
Come on, man.
No, just
Why don't we talk about the game?
tell them the joke you were working on in the lobby.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Cody Miles.
This is so dumb.
"You the man, Cody."
I'm I'm starting to think magicians aren't cool or impressive at all. When you think about it, they're actually fucking hoarders. What do you mean you have a rabbit, a coin, and a scarf in your hat?
That was a joke, Mark.
That was such a waste of time.
We lasted
Not-
21 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a
Not
long.
the
That's
worst
a really long
premise,
time.
Cody. It's
That's an appropriate.
the
an eternity.
delivery is outrageous.
It doesn't finish like a joke. You understand
It just-
that?
That's the
yeah,
point.
it just ends.
No, that's
You
not
just-
the point. It doesn't finish with the cadence of a joke. It feels like it finishes halfway in.
Cody,
Yeah.
Cody does have the ultimate fallback of if he tells a joke and it's funny and people laugh, it's a great joke. But if it doesn't get a laugh, he says that's the point. It's not supposed to get a laugh.
There's never any punchline. There's like always one more sentence you're supposed to say, and you just don't say it. You just put your hand up and say thanks. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Some people just don't get it.
You were also working on that for 3 hours.
That's not true.
You were in the lobby telling to whoever would listen. Why are you uncomfortable now?
Yep.
All right.
That was uncomfortable.
Good- good stuff.
Should we spin the horses to see what kind of waffles Connor has to eat?
Yes.
I think we got to do Eggo.
What
Because
is?
we
No.
we have
Hold on now. Yesterday you were like no ego.
No, Liam said no echo.
Yeah, I'll go back and check the tape, but I think the unnamed waffle sponsor, who I just potentially named about 5 seconds ago, it might be required that we do Eggo. I'll go talk. I'll figure something out. Also, I don't know if it would be possible to would we just have somebody on standby to make waffles the whole time?
Yes.
If
of
we
course.
can
We,
waffles
we,
is-
What
There's
kind
a
of question
breakfast
is that?
restaurant
Of
across
course.
the street.
it's called the breakfast store.
Yeah. Connor? What do you mean? Would we have a guy on standby to make waffles? Of course we would.
I'm saying we would constantly need to be cycling them in. I'd go one by one, and it
We
would
had
take
a guy
long
cook-
time.
No shit,
Have you-
that's-
Connor, we
Well,
had a guy cook a
technology,
lamb
but-
last week.
Waffles are easy.
But I'm saying I don't know how long this fucking.
How
thing's gonna
difficult
take.
do you think it is to make waffles?
Yeah. What do you?
If we're making real, true waffles,
True waffles.
Waffle mix and water and some butter.
Yeah, it's
And
super
a
easy.
waffle
Like we're
iron.
cycling and what are you talking about? Like this is gonna
We
be
need
like,
Gordon-
like-
Gordon
It's a
Ramsay
bullpen game for the
I'm-
waffle
I'm-
machine.
Guys, we're gonna have to work in shifts.
I'm trying to
Or-
make this as low effort as
You could make
possible.
it yourself.
And as
Oh.
a guy making waffles.
This doesn't need to be low effort.
Or
This
guy
can be
eating
high
waffles.
effort.
Okay.
Eating waffles is so hard.
Brandon, when do we realistically think? Cody, you're gonna have to eat them with him.
Guys,
When
there's
do we?
there's a war
when do-
brewing between Connor and Cody.
I
When do
love
we think this
Connor,
is gonna
but-
happen, Connor?
Things just got
and
very
Brandon?
tense yesterday. Friday, maybe, I was thinking.
No,
No.
we're not here.
Oh, you want to
Yeah,
be
what?
here for it?
You dumb
Yeah, no
fuck.
fucking
What,
shit,
what,
dude.
are you- what?
It's just gonna be me eating waffles. I didn't know that we had to.
This is a big occasion for us.
It has
Connor,
to be.
how have you misread every single thing about this?
Mark, I love you. I'll fight you
Like,
right
of
through the
course we
screen
wanna
right
be
now.
there. We
No,
wanna-
no, you're not gonna fight Mark Titus. Well, how he's right. How have you misread every single?
Well, listen, you guys are gone for 3 days. Add in the weekend, it's 5 days. When the fuck are we gonna do it, TJ?
Oh my God, I don't know. Maybe the other 360 days in the
But I'm
year.
saying-
we got a lot of time.
when TJ had the punishment stream where he had to play video games, we did that like the next day.
We planned that out. No, we didn't. We did it the next Friday. We planned it out. Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying, the next Friday. So I thought after we have the show, after the yak is done.
but TJ didn't need us with him for that.
that's
Mark
I
showed
need,
up.
Mark did show up. Yeah. Do we need people? I don't know. Okay, I can wait till
Yes,
next week.
Connor, we do. We have ideas of how to build this up, to promote this, to sell this, to
Connor
make this a
wants no
thing.
one to see
yes,
this happen.
It's going to be ugly. It's not going to be. We'll make it entertaining for the viewer, but yeah, I don't know if I want people around me when I'm puking and like having the worst time of my life eating 40 waffles at once.
You shouldn't have picked Florida then, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
I extended an olive branch to Connor last night as a couch boy, as his teammate, to potentially fall on the sword with him.
How many waffles you trying to take off his plate?
I'd go 10 waffles for him.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I know.
Did you shake his hand on that?
No, it was over text.
Connor, do you regret not hedging?
No,
and doing the 20.
My main thing is I don't want to be a pussy,
You're not.
You're kind of.
and I agreed to 40 when I picked Florida months ago, and I was going to follow through with 40, whatever the case was, if it did in fact happen. So I'm down to do 40, and I also don't know if the audience if people like took them on my behalf, we could get into the stream and feel it out. And if I'm like legitimately unable to do this, then yeah, I think they would accept.
I mean,
Ebo coming in, or somebody else taking the waffles off my plate, like something. But as of right now, I say I want to do 40 waffles because that's what the bet was.
Well, let's be
I think
honest.
you could do 40 waffles in 24 hours. I think.
If they were the unnamed waffle brands,
You've already named them.
I could.
You could do that in an hour.
No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But that would still.
I think it makes sense because there's nobody wants to see you eat 40 big restaurant waffles.
That's what I'm saying.
So we're gonna go 40 Eggo waffles, and that's a standard. That's not that's what this big around. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably 20 regular size waffles.
I feel like the ones that come out of the iron that are little squares are the good size.
Okay.
That's
I think we just have somebody on a waffle iron next to him, or him make a waffle, eat the waffle, make a waffle. I don't know if or have Blutman stand next. to him and make them.
I'll be totally honest. I've never made a waffle in my life.
Come on,
It's not.
You made a pancake?
It's not rocket surgery.
Very, very.
Never made a pancake.
Rocket surgery.
It's not.
I was only microwave only.
Wait, you microwaved the waffles?
You can do that with Eggos.
Yeah, you could do that with that.
Toaster oven, brother.
Pancakes I
can-
would put in the microwave.
Okay, all right.
But anyway.
we're off track.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I guess we'll do it.
We're getting bogged down.
We'll do
We're
it
getting
next
bogged
week.
down.
We'll do it next week. I thought it was going to have to be.
Give me timeout. Timeout. Give me a timeout.
NASCAR timeout.
It's timeout presented by NASCAR. I'm just tired of looking at Connor and watching him struggle with this waffle thing. Talladega Superspeedway is NASCAR's biggest, baddest track, delivering heart-pounding action. Pack racing thrills. I see. That word is an adjective, not a verb. Pack racing thrills keep drivers 3 wide and bumper to bumper at 200 miles per hour. Playoff implications are on the line, making every lap more intense. Unpredictable finishes mean anyone can take the checkered flag at Talladega. The fan experience is unmatched with camping, tailgating, and electric infield energy. Tickets are selling fast, so secure your spot now at NASCAR.com. Experience the rush at Talladega. Get your NASCAR tickets now for edge of your seat action. Secure your seats today at NASCAR.com. We can trade those two.
Sure.
You ever been to Talladega, Mark?
I've not. That's one of the tracks I want to get to.
Yeah, that's
Not
one of the
been to
tracks that I think that's one of the bucket list tracks. Daytona.
I've been to Charlotte. I've been to Bristol. Been to Indianapolis, obviously.
Let's see.
Never Talladega.
Real quick in my mind, Mount Rushmore tracks got to be Daytona, Bristol.
Oh, I've been to Daytona as well. Daytona rules.
Daytona, Bristol, Talladega, and then I don't know what the fourth one would be.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fourth one would be. Connor? Martinsville, maybe? No?
What about Watkins Glen?
Could be Watkins Glen.
What about Watkins Glen? What about Martinsville? What about
Poconos.
What about Poconos?
What about
Bristol?
Dover? I already said
What
Bristol.
about Dover?
Which side? The
Huh?
Tennessee side or the Virginia side?
I think it's on the Tennessee side. I'm not sure, actually.
Bristol?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating city, Bristol.
It's separated by it's in 2 states.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They also
So
have the coolest high school football stadium I've ever seen with my eyes.
I'd like to see that stadium.
They're the Knights, and it's like a castle. The outside looks like a castle with turrets and whatnot.
I got to see this. Lucas,
Yeah.
pull that up.
They have Tourette's.
Not Tourette's. Turrets. Turrets.
Like Europeans show up and check it out.
Oh.
What do you think you're looking at right now?
That says Brentford.
Brentford FC.
What are you doing?
You said Bristol Knights.
Why don't you say Bristol High School Football Stadium?
Well, because there's probably a lot of high schools in Bristol.
No.
Have you? It's a town of 1,000.
What?
Maybe there's not a lot of.
There's 1,000 people in Bristol, Connecticut.
No.
I mean, it seems like it'd be.
No, look at that. That's
Yeah,
the
there
outside
it
of their
is.
high school stadium.
That's awesome.
That's fucking awesome, right?
Why does it look
And
like
it's
that?
Wait,
I mean, that's
Ooh,
just
the
the
Vikings?
outside.
wait, are they the Vikings? I thought they were the Knights.
so
They can't be the
that's on the outside, and the stadium only holds like 400 people.
Yeah, something like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. What else, Ebo? What do you got on this prep sheet? Not a whole lot of much.
Connor might like one
Yeah.
of the topics on there.
Oh
What,
yeah, I definitely do.
what's your topic?
Look at the picture, Brandon.
Yeah, I want to talk about this. This is
The Direwolf?
this is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get Tommy's opinion. I might have a Tommy Walker minute next time I come in on the Direwolf because this is crazy. Connor, I will open it up for you. You may speak about the Direwolf.
So, in Game of Thrones,
Oh, god damn.
the very first episode, Winter is Coming,
Fuck me.
they find a pack of direwolves, and direwolves become a consistent character, so to speak, in the show.
I'm about to have diarrhea.
And they are massive fucking wolves, Brandon. Massive wolves that are
How
vicious.
big we talking, Connor?
They take them into
big?
war. They are, imagine a regular wolf, Brandon, and
Okay.
then double it. Imagine a regular wolf and then make it bigger.
Double?
That's
regular
what a dire wolf
Regular
is.
wolves are big.
And they go into, dude, the Battle of Winterfell, the Long Night, Season 8, Episode 3. Ghost rides into battle against the army of the dead, and he's just attacking, and he's going after everybody in the White Walker clan. And it's awesome. It's so good. Anyway, scientists.
What did the White Walkers do to these people?
You want to make a joke off of that? You want to?
I thought you would, but
Did they drive Jeeps?
Yeah, maybe.
no, he said a joke.
Anyway, scientists have figured out a way to actually bring back direwolves. And yeah, they are now going through the process of, I guess, reintroducing them. And it's no longer just this mythological thing that's.
But if
that
they're
we
these
know and-
giant big wolves, are we sure that our fragile ecosystems can handle them?
We'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah.
All right. As a guy who knows nothing about this story and just saw the headline, I'm sniffing Kizzy.
Yeah.
I'm sniffing Kizzy, Connor. I don't think these are dire wolves. I think these are just wolves. And I think these dire wolves that they created are going to grow up and they're going to be like, damn, these are a little smaller than we realized or we thought they were going to be.
I mean, of course,
And then they're going to be like, fuck, were these just normal wolves the whole time?
they're not going to be riding alongside Jorah Mormont.
All right. Can you stop
Right.
with the Star Wars?
But I think they're going to be big, Mark. I think this is a real cool thing.
But I'm saying, how
they're on the
big do
cover
they
of
have to
Time
be?
magazine.
How big do they have to be, Connor?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but I'm saying
Use
I
that.
swear to fucking God, if these wolves aren't like the
Use
biggest,
that door. Use that
if
door.
these
Connor.
aren't double the size of a normal wolf, I'll flip the table, Connor.
All right. You see that door right there? Obviously, the door is I don't know, 8 feet high, 7 feet high, 7.5 feet high, whatever. But then there's that Reese's box beside it, which is half the door. So
Yeah.
where in this are they going to be as tall as the Reese's box? Or are they going to be between the Reese's box and the door? What do you think?
It's going to be about as tall as the handle
That's not very big at all.
for a wolf.
Well, aren't
Okay,
wolves,
fine.
I mean, imagine
aren't normal wolves that big?
is that his head is reaching that, or is his torso reaches that?
Wolves are big.
Torso. Like it's going to be probably at the top of the Feed Your Fandom Reese's setup. That is what I imagine the wolf would be. That might be embellishing a little bit.
That's his back, or that's when he's standing on his hind legs.
That's when it's on its hind legs. Or no. That's when it's on all fours.
When it's standing,
Oh, it's on all
that's
fours,
his
and its
ba-
back
all
will be that.
fours.
If I wanted to pet the dire wolf, I would touch right the
You'd be
top
at
of
the
that
level
What
box.
of
about
Reese's, yeah.
Connor? What about if you want to rub its tummy and it lays on its back and it's putting all and it's got its forelegs in the air and you want to rub its tummy? How high will its legs go? Do you think?
Well, as a known tickler here, I think the legs would probably go completely perpendicular to the floor, and they'd probably get to
I
about.
can't really picture that.
You want to pretend to be the direwolf in this situation?
No, I don't really know.
Cody, can you go on
What do
your
you-
back?
I want.
I don't know
want
if I
you-
like this path.
I want you to tickle somebody,
Okay.
and I don't know who it is.
Cody should grab someone from outside who
I guess maybe
is not watching the show, and then just Connor should just tickle him.
TJ. This is why we need a horse race with just all the. You know how we have the office wheel for the yak. We need the horses to be lined up with the office horses, so we can find somebody for him to tickle.
I feel like that might be an HR violation to
Force somebody to get tickled?
Well, we can
forcibly tickle.
we can run on the horses, and it lands on them. Then we say, "Hey, are you comfortable getting tickled?" If they say no, then they're out. They're off the hook.
We'll see.
I do think, Connor, you've built this up that I want to see it come to fruition.
I'm gonna
I wanna
call
see what-
Spider. How about Spider?
Okay. Regardless, dire wolves extinct for 12,000 years. They were only known in mythology and in Game of Thrones and all this.
But here's what I'm saying.
But now
Connor.
they're back
how,
because of
how do
DNA
we
and
know
fossils and scientists, and it's cool.
What constitutes a dire wolf versus a regular wolf other than the size?
I
Like,
think aggression.
Like, what makes us think that that direwolves even exist? What does that even mean? That they were bigger wolves? Like, because some caveman drew a wolf in a, you know?
I have no idea.
How it's just normal wolves. I think it's good. I think what they did is they just created normal wolves.
I have to beg to differ there. I think
You hope. You're operating on hope right now. Why do you want giant wolves?
I will say, if I am advocating for giant dire wolves right now and I get eaten by one, you can laugh. If they come back,
we'll laugh.
Oh, buddy, would we laugh?
They're
You know
massive.
what? You know what I think, Connor? If these fucking wolves that were born on October 1st, if Romulus and Remus, born October 1st, 2024, are not in fact twice the size of a regular wolf, I think you have to eat 50 waffles.
Wow.
You have to eat a direwolf.
That's
I would never do that. Never do that. No. But no,
There are currently two wolves that are 5 to 6 months old at this moment, and they're 80 pounds and around 5.5 feet long. They will stop growing at 12 to 13 months.
They're going to be massive.
Dire wolves were 200 pounds and around 4 feet tall and 5 feet long. If they did the gene editing properly, they will be big.
Okay.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sniffing Kizzy. I don't know a ton about the story, but
They took like DNA from direwolf like teeth and bones located in the back of the direwolf skull, and they got enough DNA matching to believe it's a genetic match.
They did like the Jurassic Park deal.
Yeah.
Basically, how Jurassic Park brought dinosaurs back.
And it would be a massive miss if they did not name one of these new dire wolves Ghost, Summer, or Nymeria, Lady.
Mark, I hate to interrupt, but I fear I have something more important than the dire wolf. I have consulted with Spider about the potential of getting tickled by Connor to prove Connor's tickling prowess. Spider has agreed with the one caveat: if I say stop, he has to stop. Everybody agree?
That's crazy.
If Spider says stop.
All right.
Right. Spider says
yeah,
stop.
I give Connor my seat?
Okay. Okay, Spider, try to not laugh. Try to fight it. Are you a ticklish guy?
I am, but I don't really. It takes a lot for me to laugh.
Okay.
Okay, so try to fight it, Connor. Like, the point is that we're trying to see if Connor can work his magic on you. So like, you try to fight it, and at some point you're gonna have to succumb to the greatest tickler on earth.
That's not what I said, but
Well, you kind of do.
I could take anybody in here in a tickle fight, yeah.
Is there like a time limit? Like he has to make me laugh or like squirmish by X amount, otherwise I win the challenge.
We really don't know. It's just we're kind of new to this. Ebo, give him your seat, I guess, because Connor, if you stood up, it would block the camera. So you're gonna have to go from the side. Now, are you normally a front tickler or a side tickler?
Yeah, where am I getting tickled?
This is great podcasting.
Yeah. Right. So we'll describe it. So Connor is now set beside Spider. You guys are. You know, do you want to role play here, Connor, at all, or do you just want to go straight to the tickling? Okay, so 3, 2, 1, tickle. All right. Well, he's not very aggressive with it. What's he doing? Is he? Oh, okay.
I don't think I can make eye contact.
Little mind games here. Little mind games. Little mind games. All right. Well, they're really.
Okay, fine. Didn't do it. Didn't do it.
What was that?
That was it?
Connor.
He's not ticklish. He's not ticklish.
You didn't do anything. You just made the noise.
What the fuck was that?
I tickled him. He's not ticklish.
All you did was go giggity.
You like shook him. You like grabbed him.
No,
and shook him.
I went for the armpits. He's not ticklish. I'm sorry.
You didn't Gucci goo at all.
You don't have to Gucci goo.
You giggity.
I think you got to try on Brandon now.
No, he
Ebo,
doesn't.
you want to try?
I think he gets to retaliate.
You did say yeah, fine. He can tickle me.
That was awful.
This is not what I signed up for.
What was that?
Connor's a fraud.
See, this is why you can't claim to be the best at everything, Connor.
I didn't.
You did.
I said I'm taking anybody in the room in a tickle fight.
Is nobody in here can get tickled?
No one's ticklish.
Guys, fucking tickle.
They're not really.
What are you doing?
Let's show you how a man tickles. Oh shit! Watch that camera, please.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Oh my god.
All right, well, sorry to disappoint. Thanks for the invite, fellas.
No, that was good.
Not your fault.
I also think it's
Good takedown defense.
too many layers of clothing. Maybe we're all wearing hoodies. We're all We
Connor,
should-
that
yeah,
was
fuck
so
it.
aggressive.
Let's take
I don't
let's
know
take
the
it off.
Tickle clothes on.
You just like
Let's
grabbed
take it
him
off.
and shook him a little bit.
No. I didn't grab him at all. I was going for the armpits.
Is this
I
all
thought
part of
you'd
your
be a little
plan?
more delicate and
Let's
go
just
for
go.
his neck or something.
Mark, I think his plan is to just pretend he's a great tickler and then be like, you know what? We have too many clothes on.
Yeah,
let's
let's get
let's all take some layers off.
We need to get topless right now.
We should all take our shirts off
That'll-
and try again.
Oh, wait, the shirts didn't work? I guess we should take our pants off, too.
Yeah.
Connor, do one of your ads.
Oh,
We got a lot
Cut
of
that
ads
up
over
and
here.
send it to the Emmys.
Yeah, this is a good one. Twin Peaks, #1 sports bar. That's a big claim, but they back it up, kind of just like how I backed that up.
You didn't.
Yeah, you don't have to choose basketball or hockey. You really get it all at Twin Peaks. Have you tried their draft beer? It's always 29 degrees Fahrenheit, has beer ice crystals in it, and their food is surprisingly really, really good. And it's made from scratch in the kitchen daily. Seasoned, smashed, and seared to order burgers, hand-stretched flatbreads, hand-cut steaks, freshly prepared guac, and you never have to worry about missing anything. There's TVs literally everywhere. Find your local lodge. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com.
And my other thing is, if the Direwolf isn't like demonstrably bigger than the regular gray wolf or the regular wolves we have, what's the point of bringing them back? What's the point of doing all this?
I think just in general, people think they're fucking cool, which they are.
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth. If all that it is just like, what if we took a wolf and made it a little bit bigger? I don't think that's a worthy payoff. They have to be able. Do they have like lasers in their eyes or something?
Yeah,
or do they like
let's look at extinct animals. Saber-toothed tiger. Now that'd be a
Yeah.
bad
They're working on
motherfucker.
woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Woolly mammoth.
That would be awesome.
They just made like a woolly hamster, right?
Pterodactyl. Like these are
I-
these are animals that would be fucking awe-inspiring to see.
Yeah.
It's a trend where they're trying to bring back these extinct animals through DNA and fossils and all that type of stuff, as TJ just pointed out. And I think they just landed on Direwolf as one that they could easily
Because they're
bring
Game of
back. I don't
Thrones
know.
nerds.
Possibly. Listen, if
Connor,
I could
let
make
me
a
ask you
if I
this.
could make a lightsaber right now, I would do it.
Connor, let me ask you
can.
this: should we be playing God?
That's a great question. And personally, I
These
would say
animals
no.
went extinct. They went extinct for a reason,
Yeah.
maybe, and maybe just let them be. You know?
I feel like you're too caught up in can you do it and not should you do it.
Yes. Listen, we obviously have no control over this. Like, they're going to be introduced back into the world. They already are. Great. I'm excited to see it. But if it were up to me, no, I would not be told.
Mark, do you have any more Jeff Goldblum lines from Jurassic Park? Because I'm kinda
life-
out. Yeah.
Finds a way.
Yeah,
You ever think about that?
that is true.
Finds a way.
All right, let me hammer this one out, and then we'll move on to something else. What do your March Madness brackets and your home appliances and systems have in common? They both tend to get busted. Now, as a benefit with American Home Shield warranty plans, select American Home Shield warranty plans. You can conveniently video chat with a live repair expert to help assess or fix an issue. Thanks to American Home Shield, we're able to video chat in Big Cat to get an expert assist as you pick your favorite teams for the 2025 tournament.
West Virginia's men's basketball has the most wins by a program to never win a national title, and this year will not be their year either, as they miss getting a ticket to the big dance.
We're here to help prevent a busted bracket, just like American Home Shield is here to help with a busted home appliance or system. Our friends at American Home Shield will help fix or replace covered parts of home systems and appliances no matter their age. As a benefit with select plans, AHS offers a convenient video chat feature that lets you connect with a live repair expert to help assess or even fix a home issue in real time. Listeners can get 20% off any plan today. Just visit ahs.com/mostly to sign up. Don't wait till something is busted. Get ahead of home repairs with AHS. Go to ahs.com/mostly for 20% off any plan today. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including limit amounts, fees, limitations, and exclusions.
Should we talk about the other breakfast punishment on the table for our audience?
What are you talking about?
There's 220 people out there that owe us, on their own good faith, 40 French toast servings.
The horses beat 220 people?
The
Yikes.
Mostly Sports horse bracket came in 12,910th place out of a total 13,130 people that entered the Mostly Sports bracket challenge.
So that many people owe us.
Wow.
And the issue
Wow.
is we can't check it on our end because we broke ESPN's capability.
But these people are family. I think
Yes.
if they finish behind the horses,
we trust that they'll
They'll-
do. We trust that they'll do it. They're good for it. What? Who won? Do we have the winner? Do we know the guy who won?
Walker J23.
What are we doing for him? Is that you, Brandon?
no,
Is
I
that
looked at
someone in your family.
I looked at it this morning to see if it was. It wasn't. It was in fact not me. I finished in the 8,000 range.
You thought there's a chance. You're like, oh fuck, did I just
goddamn.
win?
But no, it's not me. Shout out to Walker J23. What does he win? Nothing.
I think we should get him
This baseball.
some ball nowhere care package for sure.
A ball. Yeah, he should get some
Yeah.
ball nowhere merch.
Are we
certified?
We should get a plaque in the
Yeah.
studio too.
It looks
right?
like he's tied with someone.
No, but he wins the tiebreaker, Lucas.
God damn it,
dumbass.
Lucas.
It says rank 1.
Lucas.
Do you not know how these brackets work? You put a tiebreaker in there.
That's on me. I think I lost to the horses.
What's your rank?
11 something.
Then no, you didn't. Well, why
11,194.
Lucas? What's your deal?
That's low.
But we said the horses were what 12-8, 12-9.
Oh, I missed that part.
TJ,
Goddamn it, Lucas.
TJ, can I talk to TJ real quick?
Yeah, what's up, Breno?
You should fly back. When are you flying back?
In like 2 hours.
Okay. As soon as you get here, you should meet with Dave and Dan and ask for a raise.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Great week for TJ.
Because, goddamn.
It's been a great week for TJ, and it's been 2 days.
Yeah.
I had a question, and there's only one man that can answer it, and his name is Ebo. You put on the prep sheet, what is something that improved your quality of life so much you wish you did it sooner? Are you okay, man? Are you good?
We were there weren't a lot of things that happened yesterday outside the national championship game, so I decided to go on Reddit and look at Ask Reddit. So I just grabbed the top question from Ask Reddit, and I decided I'd ask you guys.
Ask it
and I
again?
figured you'd have a good answer for that, Mark, because I feel like you're a guy that's always like, you know what? You got a good anecdote about something.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
yeah, if I think about it, I could probably come up with something. I just saw the question. I was like, that seems to be just kind of out of nowhere.
No, it's not. I promise it's not
I hope
bleak.
Ebo's doing all right.
I promise I am not. It is not bleak.
You good, fam?
Yeah, I'm good, fam.
So what's the answer? What was the laugh?
I'm looking for the old heads.
It's
answer.
it's a subjective thing. It's personal to you.
I'll be honest. I don't remember the question.
It's
It's right in front of you. What's one thing that you got that changed your life that you wish you would have sooner?
Did I get a different prep sheet than him?
Huh? It's at the bottom of the Direwolf.
Let's see.
You guys all right?
Everything all right over there?
Did I get a different prep sheet?
Yeah, you did.
Really?
Ebo, why did I get
right there?
It must have
What
got
is
cut
something
off
that
on the
improved
printer.
Your quality of life so much you wish you did it sooner.
It must have gotten cut off on the
It's
printer.
not on there.
Oh, all right. Well, there
Wait,
we
no,
go.
it's on there, but it's faded to fuck because the ink ran out.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's not
it
on there
is.
at all.
I see it.
Where? That's the backside of this.
Yeah, no, it's the other side of the paper.
You gave us faulty prep sheets. You gave him one and me another one.
All
I
right,
wonder
all right.
what he was talking about.
Stop filibustering.
juiced-
Answer
he
the
juiced my
motherfucking
prep
question.
sheet, Brandon.
Answer the motherfucking question.
Well, what's the question?
I don't know. How does it feel to get cucked on your content by Nick?
No.
You see you, man. Teaking vlog.
By the way,
Nice knowing you.
Who is running the Twitter that puts Nick has his own show, Anus, that could have done his bidding for him. He didn't need you guys to put it on ours.
Wasn't me.
Mantiquing is a mostly sports thing.
No, it's a Brandon Walker thing.
What show?
And I would have
Is Brandon Walker not a mostly sports thing?
I would have vlogs on with Mantiquing, but the cameraman says, "Yeah, I'll do it." Just never comes out to my house. Cody.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. You said, yeah, I'll do it, and you just never. You every time I ask you, you say, "No, I can't do it that day."
This seems like an appropriate conversation for the air.
It. My God. Okay.
It's
All right.
been
What?
Interesting the past couple
Whose
days.
phone's ringing?
It's mine, Lucas. It's my phone. It's just relax.
This
It's my.
show stinks.
It's my food delivery.
You better go catch it.
Do we have an answer to the question?
I don't remember the question.
What's one thing in your life you wish you would have found out sooner because it's made it so much better?
Pussy.
Yeah, that's a great answer,
I
Brandon.
wish I'd gotten to pussy a little bit quicker.
Great answer.
It took me a while, but once I found it, boy,
Yeah.
did it change things.
Yeah.
I once went 28 years without having sex, and then another 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
That's the answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go daily contact lenses. I think.
Really, I'm going pussy. You're going daily contact lenses.
I'm going daily contact lenses. Yeah. People try them out.
Ebo, what's your answer here? Because you're the one crying out for help with this question.
I think it's a coffee maker.
Is it
instead of buying
lifts
coffee?
in your shoes? No. See that?
This guy.
That was see, Ebo. I stopped myself. I didn't even finish it. Nobody even knows what I was saying.
I wish I'd been just doing candles more. I don't know if it made my life like infinitely better, but I wish I'd just been doing candles from the jump. I love candles.
Doing
candles?
like it's a drug.
Yeah, just having candles on at all times in every room. That's what I do now.
I like that.
Candles everywhere. Bathroom, bedroom, living room, kitchen. Candles everywhere.
Yeah.
Mark?
I wish I leaned into the white woman lifestyle a lot earlier.
Oh.
They have the best lives. I'm on record as saying this, that white women in Southern California especially have life figured out. And I want to be like them. I want to be like all of them. I want to eat big salads and fucking drive expensive cars that my husband pays for.
I guess I got to ask. You said
And,
you want to lean more into it. How have you modified your life so far to be more of a white woman?
I you know, a lot of people don't know this about me. I haven't released any of the footage, but I do a lot of TikTok dances in my leisure.
Yeah.
I film myself in my kitchen dancing.
Knew that.
I just haven't posted them yet. Yeah.
Pilates.
Yoga Ebo, is that a good one?
Yeah, yoga's good. Like being able to touch your toes. Yeah, doing exercise that isn't just like bro lifts.
Yeah.
Blutman, what's your answer to this question?
I've been thinking for a while now, and for some reason, all I could think of is root beer, but that doesn't even...
Root beer.
I've always loved root beer, but I can't think of anything else. Tennis maybe, but that's such a cliche.
Root beer and tennis?
That's such a cliche.
Tennis is good.
answer.
Yeah. By the way, I
Blubman's
love.
on his deathbed, and he's like, I have but 2 regrets.
I love.
I wish I spent more time drinking root beer and playing tennis.
I just really want root beer.
It's just watching tennis too, right? Or is it playing or watching?
Watching.
Watching.
Watching, it's not even playing.
I missed.
I wish I
missed
started watching tennis early.
I missed the big 3, so yeah, that'd be the answer. Sure.
There have been 2 times where I've been to a proper bar with Blutman, and both times I've asked him, "Hey, I'm going up to get a drink. Do you want anything?" He says, "Can you ask if they have root beer?" That's the best. I love it every single time.
Well, maybe next time you'll just preemptively get the root beer for him.
They don't have root beer. Both times they haven't had root
Root beer's like rare these days.
But we'll get it for Blutman next time.
That's why I keep thinking about root beer, because we went to a bar near here last week. I asked for root beer and they didn't have, and I got sad. So I've been.
You got actually sad.
Yeah.
Spider tried to get him, like, you know, you can do like buckets of beer at the bar. He tried to get him a bucket of bottled root beers, and they said yeah, they could do it, and he didn't do it.
I'd like to see
That's
how
bad value.
I'd like to see how sad you got. Can you just? I'm the bartender. Can you just ask me if we have root beer? And I want you to do appropriate sadness.
Can I have root beer, please?
Sorry, man. We actually don't have root beer.
Just have water then. Thanks.
I guess that was sad. It wasn't that big of a difference from your normal.
Wait, it's inside. In my
in your brain.
Yeah.
You're sad in the brain.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Well, I can get you a root beer if you want one.
It's fine.
Would it improve your day tremendously if I got you a root beer?
It might, but I was hoping to have one tonight after our NASCAR roughness.
All right.
I love that. He's got a vision for what the day is going to look like. Just working the whole day for that root beer.
Because I woke up to a text from Big T saying, let's play trivia tonight, and I want to go get trivia and then play root beer.
Play root beer?
Yeah, we'll just let the sentence be.
All right, Mark. I'm gonna shut her down unless you have anything else.
We have the trailer.
Let's shut her down.
Oh wait. Sorry. Did you hear what Connor just said?
I know they got the
apologize.
trailer.
Yeah. Do we shut down and end with the trailer, or do we all want to watch? Yeah, I want to watch the trailer.
I want to watch the trailer as well. Yeah, Brandon and I'm going to a beach. Brandon is going to the Masters. Well, you're going to be back Monday as well, right, Brandon?
I'll be back Monday, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back Monday. So bear with us these next few days as the Couch Boys take over the show. Without further ado, Connor, play your trailer.
Lucas?
I can't believe they're gone.
Football.
I just wrote penis.
What the hell are we gonna do?
You know what, bro? The show must go on.
I'd slurp Ebo right now.
What?
Fuck, Connor, I can't do this! It's too much responsibility!
Get it together, dude! This is the fucking big time, okay? We need to get it together!
Great moments are born from great opportunities. And that's what we have here tonight, folks. That's what you've earned tonight.
So the question is, Ebo, what do you want to talk about?
God damn it.
There we go. With Evan Basenko.
He did it again, Mark.
Connor Griffin.
He did. He's our special boy, Brandon.
He did it again.
Shout out to Cody on the camera.
You ought to be doing that twice a week, by the way. That's a trailer for nothing.
All right. I love you guys. Brandon, enjoy Augusta. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Yep. See you Monday. Thanks. That's the show.
That's how ball is done.